NaVorro, how did it feel just to get out there again and play at a high level in prime time?
Felt great. Going through the practice this week, I was trying to time it up to see, which day I wanted to take a break, and I didn't get to take a whole day, and I think, that led up to, me, just getting the knee ready for a complete game to play at that high level. So, I felt great, man, just throughout the whole game, confident with just worried about the game plan and not me.
NaVorro, with all those changes to the defense over the offseason, was there any part of you that couldn't be convinced at how things would be until you saw it on the field, and what did you think of the group performance?
No, I mean, the role that, I knew that I was going to have this year, leading by example is really the best way to get, a group of guys, on the same page. And, that's, basically what I tried to do, leading up to this point, and ultimately demonstrate the type of play that we like seeing, on Sundays, or Mondays, I should say. So, it wasn't really a challenge, just, having a group of guys that want to be like that, want to be better, want to play, with an identity. I think that was, a great stepping stone for us today.
People called it a well-called game from Eric Mangini's point of view. Do you feel like he dialed up the blitzes at the right time?
Man, he knows what he's doing, and I've been saying since day one, we have a lot of variety in this defense, and, no matter what our offense is doing, we have an answer for it. And, he's trusted us to, take on, everything that he's been throwing at us. And, some guys or some defenses, can't handle, the bulk of it, and we've done a great job as a group with understanding what he's trying to get accomplished and executing it out there on the field.
What's the thing that stood out the most to you as far as how this defense has changed since you last stepped on the field?
Scheme-wise, or
Yeah, just personnel-wise, scheme-wise, what really jumps out at you?
Scheme-wise, it allows guys to, make a lot of plays, and, for me as a middle linebacker, it allows, me to command the defense and make all the right checks and get everyone on the right page. And personnel-wise, we have a group of young guys, man, that know how to play the game of football, but, understanding, when to take your shots, in certain points of the game is really just what they're going to have to learn. But as far as personnel, man, we have the guys for it.
Responsibilities in this defense similar to what they were before when you were playing the Mike in the previous one, or do you have more responsibilities?
Yeah, a lot more responsibility, and I'm embracing it, and it's fun, to be as active as I have to be out there doing a football game. That's what you live for as a linebacker.
What do you just have the first full game back and over with, where you can move on to week 2, and now there's no more talk about it?
No, honestly, I just want to get through the year, man, and week by week continue getting better, more confident with my knee, and ultimately lead this team to the playoffs and so forth.
So what's Tom Sula like on the sideline?
Great. He tells it how it is. Anything negative happen out there, he's big on moving on to the next play. That's how we operate. We don't try to, hop on, what's happened before. We try to just keep it moving, and, he's real positive, when something good happens. But, if it's not good, he's going to let us know. And, that's what you need in a coach, a guy that's, right there, even keel, and tells us how it is.
I have a broad question, but what's the secret to holding Adrian Peterson's 30 yards with the Vikings?
No secret, man. I think guys was really up for this game, and I'm sure Adrian will get, a lot better throughout the season. It's his first game in a long time. So, we want to, show respect to the opponent also, but, we started from, the bottom and worked our way with, new coaching staff, new playbook and things like that, and had a lot of doubters. And I think, guys see that, we're about business.
More guys?
What happened when you had to come out for a play?
I just got hit in the groin. I tried to fight it off, but it wouldn't let me. But it went away, and I was able to go back out there.
Is Eric Mangini on Vic Fangio's part in terms of preparing you for a game?
Yeah, I mean, Vic's a great defensive coordinator also. I mean, he just does a little bit of things different. And, some coaches like sitting in and executing that defense, and Eric's more of a variety type of coach where, he wants the offense to have to defend us than us have to defend the offense.
Seems like part of the success you guys had on third down tonight had to do with Jaquaski being on the field. What's it like playing with three safeties on the field, and what kind of dynamic does that add to the defense?
Yeah, I mean, me and Quasi, we've been trying to, get on the same page throughout this whole camp, and he's done a great job, being as young as he is, trying to learn as much as coaches asked him to learn with going back to safety and coming up playing in the box. That's a challenge, for a rookie. So he's done a great job. I enjoy playing with him, because he listens and goes out there and does the right thing.
Thanks, NaVorro.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.